The UK's automotive industry has stood out as a shining star in the nation's economy, setting itself apart from many other manufacturing sectors. Over the past decade, it's demonstrated remarkable growth, with a staggering 60% increase in production since 2010. Moreover, the industry has attracted a substantial influx of investment, surpassing $8 billion in the last 5 years alone, underlining its significance. What's even more remarkable is the industry's role in providing livelihoods for approximately 800,000 people in the UK. This is where the effects of EU membership have played a crucial role. But with the advent of Brexit, questions loom large over the future of the UK automotive sector and its dedicated workforce. The impact of this historic decision is yet to fully unfold, leaving many stakeholders in the industry and its workers on edge. The turning tide is largely attributed to the trade deal that Britain negotiated with the EU in December 2020, alongside substantial financial support from the government. As a result, business leaders are shifting their focus away from concerns about relocating their operations and are now exploring the potential benefits of the regulatory flexibility that post-Brexit Britain offers. Before the Brexit vote, the UK's motor industry had been on a remarkable upswing. In 2016, production hit a 2-decade high, with over 1.8 million units manufactured. Notably, in terms of vehicles produced per employee, Britain had become one of Europe's most efficient car makers by 2016, with approximately 160,000 employees producing almost 11 vehicles each annually. The UK outperformed the EU average of less than 8. However, the challenges posed by Brexit, particularly the increased difficulty of transporting parts across borders, cast a shadow over this previously flourishing industry. The automotive industry remains a cornerstone of the UK's exports, yet challenges have emerged due to the fluctuating energy prices and the increased expenses associated with adhering to EU regulations post-Brexit, as reported by the sector's trade body. According to the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, an overwhelming 9 out of 10 companies within the industry have witnessed a rise in costs in terms of time and resources since the UK's departure from the EU. Of these firms, 60% have noted that the additional expenses incurred in trading with the EU are significantly higher compared to other export destinations. Mike Hawes, chief executive of the SMMT, expressed concern about the impact of complying with new regulations, suggesting that these changes have diminished the UK's competitive advantage when compared to European counterparts. The initial months post-Brexit proved challenging, marked by broader delays, some due to teething issues, while others had more substantial consequences. The industry now grapples with increased costs and complexity, costs that must be absorbed to maintain competitiveness. Despite these challenges, the European Union remains a central trade partner for the UK automotive sector. Approximately half of all vehicles produced in Britain are exported to EU member states, and almost all UK exported vans find their way to European roads. In 2020, the total vehicle export revenues reached £27 billion, even in the face of disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, which affected trade flows in markets worldwide. The UK's automotive sector as a whole contributed significantly to the country's trade revenue, generating $74 billion. More than 80% of British-made cars and over 60% of light commercial vehicles are destined for export. In the pursuit of energy efficiency, the industry has already set ambitious targets, forging climate change agreements with the Environment Agency that came bundled with valuable energy discounts. However, as Mike Hawes, the SMMT chief executive, has astutely pointed out, in comparison to some of our European counterparts, we still find ourselves at a disadvantage. Mayuki Takahashi, Nissan's general manager for government affairs, has passionately underlined the critical role of trading agreements between the UK and the EU. She describes these agreements as crucial and indispensable for the sustainability of their business, including the pivotal Nissan Sunderland manufacturing plant, where 6,000 individuals earn their livelihoods. Furthermore, she expressed a strong desire for the UK to transform into a hub for electric vehicles and battery production. This transformation aims to localize a significant portion of battery and EV component production within the UK, aligning with the rules of origin and fortifying trade ties between the UK and Japan. This vision holds great potential for the future of the UK's automotive industry. While the UK is exploring the possibility of joining an Asia-Pacific free trade area, Mayuki Takahashi from Nissan suggested that this might not lead to more Nissan cars being directly exported from the UK. She highlighted that shipping cars from Japan is a more cost-effective option. In considering the carbon cycle and emissions, it makes more sense to continue with the current arrangement. Adrian Hallmark, the CEO of Bentley, noted that the Brexit agreement is operational, but has introduced additional administrative costs. He stressed the importance of constant updates, likening the relationship to a long-lasting marriage. Hallmark urged the government to actively support the UK in becoming a hub for battery production as the automotive industry transitions to electric vehicles. He cautioned that if steps aren't taken to manage the cost of batteries and address their impact on rules of origin and trade deals, it could lead to problems in the imposition of tariffs. Batteries for electric vehicles can be up to 3 times the cost of Bentley's traditional engines, making it a critical issue that needs addressing. The European Union and the United Kingdom face a pressing need for immediate action to delay regulations affecting electric vehicle trade, which could result in the imposition of substantial 10% tariffs, according to Europe's car industry group. In a statement released ahead of a scheduled trade meeting between EU and UK officials, Luca De Maio, president of the European Automobile Manufacturers Association and CEO of Renault, emphasized the critical nature of the situation. De Maio firmly stated that the raising consumer prices for European electric vehicles at a time when the industry is engaged in fierce international competition is an unwise move. As both sides gear up for this pivotal trade meeting, the industry awaits the outcome of this crucial decision. The post-Brexit trade agreement between the EU and UK has set stringent requirements for electric vehicles. Starting in 2024, EVs must have at least 45% EU or UK content, and their battery cells and packs should meet a higher 30 to 60% threshold. Failure to comply with these regulations could result in significant import tariffs of 10% imposed by either the UK or EU. The challenge lies in the fact that neither British nor EU car manufacturers have established their EV supply chains to a significant degree to meet these requirements. As a result, they're advocating for a postponement of these rules until 2027. The European Automobile Manufacturers Association has raised concerns about the potential cost to car makers, estimating it could reach up to 4.3 billion euros in tariffs, or $4.57 billion US dollars, which could significantly impact production. However, the European Union has been hesitant to reopen negotiations on the post-Brexit trade agreement. In June, Stefan Furing, a European Commission official responsible for overseeing the EU-UK trade deal, stated that the EU's rules of origin were considered to be fit for purpose, and there were no current plans to change them. This stance reflects the EU's position on the matter, despite the concerns raised by the automotive industry. The EU-UK trade rules are sparking quite a shock in the electric vehicle world, with billions at stake and the industry's future hanging in the balance. So, how do you think this electric saga will rev up the automotive industry's future? Fire away in the comments, and if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our passionate community.